All right,
Hey,
we are
everybody.
live. Where's my phone?
Mhm.
We are live.
Silent. Mhm. Good evening. Good evening. Tuesday conversation with Jared and Marquita is beginning live. I'm Marquita. This is Jared. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Hey, Tamika.
We are back. We are back. Hey, Miss Dee Dee.
Hey, Miss Dee.
We are back.
Hi,
Hey, India.
India.
So again, she's already introduced us. This is how to make love work, where we give advice and come alongside of you to help you in your relationship, whether you're married or whether you are dating, or even whether you're single, trying to figure out, navigate your companionship stuff. So yeah, make sure that you follow us on Instagram, How to Make Love Work, number two, and also on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube because we have special couple series, mini series that's going on, episodes that are being aired there, and you can find us there. So make sure you follow us there.
Yeah, we talk with different couples and couples that we've counseled and couples that we know, and just get them to share about their story and share about counseling. Just some good, juicy
Yeah.
information.
What's up, Dwayne?
Hey, cousin.
So we're gonna let a few more people get in while we're doing that.
We
Uh,
have a new episode getting ready to come out in September.
yeah, we got an
Yeah.
episode getting ready to come out. Actually, Sunday.
hmm
Sunday, a new episode getting ready to come
And
out
that's only going to air on YouTube.
only on YouTube. So we just came back from a football game.
Yes.
Our son, our only son, he's 11 years old, and he is playing football now for his middle school.
He's so little, y'all. Oh.
So he is the smallest
Oh.
guy out there on the field, but I mean, he's got the biggest heart. So he's out
Yes.
there. He's on special teams, right?
He's defense. He plays. His coach says he's a defense and offense.
Oh, he's defense and offense. Okay. So he was out there. We got some photos of him and all that. And then we just so proud of him. They won. They won
Yay!
tonight, 32-30. They beat Darnell Cookman. So he plays
hmm
in Fort Carolina Middle School.
hmm
And our daughter is a cheerleader there
Yes, go
at the school.
Jay! Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah. And
Go,
it is not
go
official yet,
Cavs!
but there is word that she is going to be
The co-captain.
the co-captain of the cheerleading team.
Go Jay!
So we're excited about that. We're excited
We're
about that.
super excited. They both wanted to play for their schools and cheer for their schools, so they are very excited, and we are going to push them and cheer for them and root them on and support them because they are doing it, and they're
Yes.
AB students. Thank God.
Yes. What's up, Letitia?
Hey, girl, hey,
All right, so we're going to get started in just a moment. A few more folks are getting on. I want to know, are we celebrating any anniversaries tonight? Anybody have an anniversary or coming up? Anniversaries coming up? Any birthdays? Y'all talk to us. I know Marquita and I are celebrating our 15th year anniversary
October
October
1st.
1st.
Yep, 15 years
15
of
years. Yeah.
marriage. And
So,
then,
I
let's
mean,
see.
you have folks that have been married 30 something years, 50
Mm-hmm.
something years who trump us, but
Mm-hmm.
we've been in the game for a minute. So 15 years, I think, can at least be counted for as experience. We do have experience. So
Hey, Jessica.
that's October 1st. What's up, Jessica? Anybody else got any anniversaries coming up?
Any birthdays? I know my Gotti. Dana, happy birthday to you. Auntie Georgia, happy birthday to you. Walt Diesel, happy birthday to you. Ooh, Miss Laura, Miss Arfine, Light Church,
Right.
our
Oh, yeah.
church.
So our church
Woo-hoo.
celebrates 14 years today.
Yes,
14
yes.
years today. We celebrate 14 years. We are the founders of our church, and
Mm-hmm.
we've been leading the church for 14 years and serving the church for
Yes.
14 years. Chantel,
The
hey.
21st night of September. It's a popular day. It is a popular day.
All right.
Oh goodness.
So I think we're going to just jump in. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So our conversation tonight is your relationship a safe place to fail?
Dun, dun, dun. And what that means
No, so
is
let them tell us what that means
okay. Let me
first.
y'all tell us what it means first.
So what do you when you hear that is
Yeah.
your relationship a safe place to fail? What does that mean to you?
Yes.
Alicia,
Hello, Alicia.
hey, tell me what that means. Your relationship being a safe place to fail. FAIL.
Right. What does that mean?
Marriage, dating, even if you've been divorced or whatever the case may be, what does it mean
Did
to
you hear that?
fail in your relationship?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What is it a safe space to fail? That's a totally different thing. What does it mean to fail in a relationship? It's a
No,
different.
what we want to know what they mean, what they get when they say fail.
When we say fail, okay.
Yeah, when we say fail.
What do you hear?
Yeah.
Hi,
Crystal,
Crystal.
what's up?
Go ahead. Don't be shy. Type the answers in there. What do we mean when we say fail?
All right, go ahead. While they're typing, go ahead. Give what you were going to give.
Um, I was gonna give that if being a safe space, meaning
I keep saying place. So which one are we going? When you say space, I say place. Which
I
one are we
say
going?
space. Yo,
What up,
Glenn.
Glenn? Is there a difference?
uh,
Because every time I say place, you say
oh, really?
space.
I didn't even hear you say place. That's because the question is typed safe space.
No, mine is not.
Mm.
Mm.
Is your relationship a safe space to fail? Place.
You blowing it, man. All right, go ahead.
Well, if I give it, if I say it, I'm gonna be giving it away.
Yeah, I
Your
mean,
answer.
go ahead.
Okay. Well, anyway, a safe space meaning it's okay if your companion makes a mistake. Not saying that it's okay for them to just make mistakes, but when they come to you with their mistakes, how do you react to them? Um, how do you respond to them? How do you feel? What do you say to them? How do you blow up?
Right,
Or, do you keep your cool and say, okay, let's talk about this.
right.
Let me actually sit or let me think about this and see how does this make me feel.
And then we have to also identify what constitute a failure.
Yeah.
All right. So Letitia says, I think my marriage is a safe space to not be perfect.
Okay.
Trial and error will work.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing will be made public.
Hmm.
I am always supporting him and saying for him.
Okay.
All right. So let's define some failures.
Okay.
Um, for one, let me say this: every person that you are in relationship with, or whomever you are in relationship with, they have issues. When
Mm-hmm.
you marry a person, you do not have the opportunity to decide what issues they have.
Mm-hmm.
And you may say, okay, well, I married them. I already I've been dating them, and now we're married. I kind of already know what kind of issues they have. You may think you know what issues they have, but you
But you
may
have no
not,
idea.
because 5 years down the line within your marriage, issues or proclivities or inclinations may come up that were never there or they never acted on.
Mm-hmm.
And then perhaps you married them in their 20s, and now they're 36 years old, and now they have different proclivities or different inclinations that they are acting on now. Or now they're 40 something years old and things are different. So you can't say, well,
Mm-hmm.
I know what their issues are. No, not quite.
Yo,
Hey, what's up, Quan? And what's up,
hey
Erica?
Quan. Okay, so
Wait a minute, let me go to the teacher real quick. Don't lose your thoughts. Don't
okay,
blow up, but gently remind him that what's happened,
that's what happened.
that's what happened when he doesn't listen to me. Joking. Oh, that's what happens when you listen. Okay, go ahead.
It's something you said. What did you just say?
So I was
Them
saying
coming
that,
back.
when you marry a person, you marry their issues
Yeah.
and not knowing what all their issues are, because they don't know what all their issues are. It's not that they kept it from you. They don't quite know either. They're still growing and they're still learning themselves. And
I mean, we adjust, we change throughout the course of our lives. We change chemically on the inside. We change emotionally, mentally. We grow through different experiences that we have. We may respond differently now than 15, 16 years ago. Maybe we respond the same. Maybe just you just don't know what's going to happen. So it's up to us to learn how to control ourselves, our responses, and then also the unrealistic expectations. Because sometimes, you can say, "Well, you're not supposed to be the one to do this to me," right. And you can think that, or some people wear it and like they're just waiting. I'm just waiting for you because you're a man. You bound to mess up, right, something like that. Right. And so, when those things happen, what do you do?
So here's the other thing now. Most of the times when you have an issue, or if I have an issue that I'm doing, or whatever, or something that trips you up, or something that trips me up, what makes it hard is that we take the other person's trip up personal.
Yes.
It's a personal betrayal when you trip up on what you have to deal with within you.
It's like you attack me.
Right. When I trip up on what I've got to deal with in me, then the other person can take it as a personal betrayal to them. And when all actuality, it's something that it has nothing to do with the other person. It's something that the one who's doing the tripping is actually choosing or actually having to fight with.
Yes, that's a good one. Or having to fight with.
Because it's not only just, uh, sheer arrogance and cockiness. I'm gonna go and trip up on this. Sometimes it's a battle for that person, and has nothing to do with the other person. Quan says that most things aren't even about you. Absolutely.
Right. So further proving that it's not intentional.
Right.
It's not I don't want to do I'm upset with you about this, so I'm gonna go do that. Right. It's not tit for tat.
Okay, so are y'all ready for story time?
Story time.
Now we're gonna be quite transparent tonight. I just need to know if y'all ready for story time. If you ready for story time, type in story time. We can't say nothing if y'all ain't ready.
Oh my goodness.
Woo! You ready for story time?
I don't know. I'm just being honest. I don't know.
Story time.
Hey,
story
Miss
time.
Moore.
Story time, Miss Katrina. Hey.
Look at Tisha.
Story time. Oh, they typing in story time.
Oh,
okay.
Right, oh my goodness. Okay. Let you put an ear on there.
All right, here we go.
Oh my goodness.
Story time, me, please. All right, bet. Here we go.
My
You ready
goodness.
for this?
I'm ready to try, I guess.
Okay. So,
Gee.
I'm gonna put myself out this time. Maybe we'll have Marquita put herself out next time, but I'll be the gentleman.
Oh boy.
So,
get on with the story.
Marquita and I been married 15 years. This happened in our first year. So this happened 14 years ago. Been that long.
Dang.
Yeah. So we had come back to Jacksonville. We got married in Atlanta, came back to Jacksonville, and this is story time from the preacher too. So we had come back to Jacksonville, and coming back home, you have people in your life that knew you when. And so there was this particular young lady who I was a childhood friend of mine, and we grew up together, and we've always known one another. Now, prior to Marquita, her and I had never dated, but we were always almost like dating. And so every time we were around one another, no matter if she was in a relationship or I was in a relationship, we were just two peas in the pod. And our interaction with one another was always kind of flirty, and not necessarily meant anything, but it was just how we interacted with one another. So when we came, Marquita and I came back to Jacksonville. Um, a few months after that, the young lady started coming around, and without thought, and I'm young and very young in marriage, I fall into the same rhythm as I always have with this particular young lady. And so we kind of interacted the same way as we always interacted with one another, although we were married. And so, but now
Oh yeah, because both of y'all was married.
she wasn't married at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. But now, of course, that interaction is now totally inappropriate. And you don't really, well, I'll say for me, you don't really realize that until you're in another situation like, wait a minute, you know, um, this is whatever inappropriate. And so, but that was how we interacted. So I kind of excused it because that's
Mm-hmm.
just,
Mm-hmm. Right. It was just like, oh, that's just how we always do.
right, that's just my buddy and da da da.
Yeah.
And so now Marquita was very aware. Like she was very keen. Like I don't like how you didn't say how we were interacting. You more so you didn't like how the young lady was uh, interacting towards you.
Not at first. Well, no. At first, yeah, I was like, you gonna have to check that because I don't have nothing to do with shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Mm-hmm.
That's over and done with.
And,
So
and so you got to be careful about past situations because for one, the person that you've had past with, they're comfortable with you,
right,
and secondly,
and they don't like if there's a difference that has arisen or arose,
mhm,
then that person doesn't like that. So it's like I still should be able to
right,
call, text,
right,
be the same
right,
with this person. Um, and if it wasn't inappropriate before, now that someone else is in the picture and it's stamped and permanent, it's in ink, it hello, then it's a problem. It's
yeah,
boundary lines are being crossed.
because now it's territorial.
Right.
Like I knew him before you knew him, or
And
I knew her before you knew her,
and
and then that territory strife can come up.
yeah, the tension
Right.
arise.
All right.
Hmm.
So anyway, so that's how we were interacting, and I was kind of getting some strife from Marquita, but I'm like, I'm excusing it, right? Just like
Hey Marcella.
just like Letitia said, like, had you listened to me, you know what I mean? And so
And we
Marquita was
wouldn't
like,
be in this.
right. Marquita was like, this is the case, and I'm like, girl, please, it's not even a situation.
So it was some denial there. Because it's almost like this my dog and you gonna sever what I have because you jealous? And I'm like, it's not jealousy, it's just I'm aware. And you gotta watch yourself because not only are you just my husband, you are also a pastor now. So don't let your good be evil spoken of. Because if I can pick up on it, if anybody else pick up on this, that's not gonna be good. A good light shine on you.
Right. But none of that mattered to me
Mm-mm.
because I knew there was nothing there, and also in my mind there was nothing there, and then there was a boundary that I wasn't going to cross. So it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So you say whatever you want to say. None of that matters to me. So anyhow, then I found myself at this young lady's house. Again, it was just like a sister girl, not a sister, but a sister girl. And so we talking and just shooting the breeze or whatever we were doing with
It was a meeting for the event we was getting ready to have.
right, okay, yeah. So it was a meeting for an event that we were getting ready to have, but it was at her home. And so yeah. All right,
They can comment on the story. Leave the people
I just
alone.
said it couldn't.
Story time.
All right.
What? Continue. Continue,
Anyway,
Ray.
so it was a meeting at the young lady's home, and 20 minutes in, I felt myself becoming tempted with this young lady, and so I kind of shook it off, and then I kind of, but it didn't go anywhere. So I left. Um, and not to cast any aspersion on anybody else, I'm just telling my story. But I am thankful that that was it, right? Nothing happened. I left.
A conversation happened about it. It was like, I can't do that. Yeah, she's too sweet of a girl.
I don't remember the conversation.
Well, that's what was said to me like once. We don't forget nothing.
yeah. Anyway, so because no, that conversation didn't happen. Maybe that conversation happened to someone else, but that conversation happened that day. Because it was something that I voiced.
It wasn't something that you voiced?
Not at the time.
Oh, okay.
Um, so anyway, so I felt bad, and I felt like you know, I knew that
Okay. Shaking.
I knew that this was I had put myself in a bad situation, in a bad space, and so that's not the kicker of the story, y'all. Anyway, they ready to pounce.
They're just trying to get clarity.
You know, I don't need any help at all. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And so
God.
here's the kicker to the point of the conversation tonight.
Hmm.
I called Marquita and I said to Marquita, I started from a hypothetical place.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asked whatever the questions I was asking. Let me preface this. Because Marquita and I were best friends. We weren't just lovers. We were best friends. So if something happened with her, she called me, she talked to me. Something happened with me, I called her, I talked to her. And so
bring on the kicker.
and so I called Marquita hypothetically, and then I finally told her. I said, "Hey,
we were in the car riding.
Yeah, I called you at work first.
Yeah.
And gave you a hypothetical. I don't remember all the details because I'm not even into that.
Okay.
But anyway, when I did tell you, I said to you, "Hey, I was there," and I told her whose home I was at and why I was there. But then while there, because of our comfortability, I felt tempted. And I'm thinking,
this my best friend.
I can tell you that.
I'm supposed to understand.
You know, I didn't. Thankfully, I didn't. You know, cross any physical boundaries. Um, I had already crossed some boundaries because I was towing the line too close because I was comfortable. So those boundaries were already crossed because I was towing the line too close. However, nothing had happened, and so I was able to say, "Hey, hey, this happened. I felt tempted, and I got out of that, and that did not go well. That did not go well at all.
With some furniture moving, you hear me?
That didn't go well. I'm thinking I can tell you this, you gotta go, but we all travel this road. Yeah, at least you kept it honest with your girl, in which I'm 5% of us. Me and me and would have took it to the grave. Salute you. I appreciate that. So I'm thinking I could tell her that, and I can be honest with my wife, my friend, and keep it pushing, keep it moving. But things hit the fan.
Yes. And
Right.
it was for me because wait a minute, I ain't supposed to have these type of problems not with you. And I warned you time and time and time and time again. Be careful, don't put yourself in compromising situation. And you did it anyway. You pushed the envelope. I blew up.
So that all meant it was not safe for me to have any failures, especially not share them.
Right. Not at that time. We just got married.
Right.
It ain't even been a year. It ain't even been 6 months. This what I signed up for. Oh no, it just hit the fan.
Let me fast forward. Being quite honest with you guys, this failure that happened and that I shared with Marquita, I had to pay for it for at least 8, maybe 9 years. It wasn't 8 months. No. I paid for this for maybe 8 to 9 years. Am I lying?
No,
Yeah. And I paid for that for 8 to 9 years because we had to grow and are still growing to a place where the failures that another person has, it's safe to do that in here and share them and not and feel personally betrayed and still keep moving. That make sense?
Yes, and when he said he had to pay for it, it's because, like Quan said, we never forget anything. As women, we don't forget. We're gonna remember every detail of what you said out of your mouth happened, or how we were made to feel, and
that's
I wouldn't let up.
Especially how you were made to feel.
Right.
Not made to feel,
But
how you felt.
I felt after the actions. So him paying for it was me never letting him know. Go ahead, I'm gonna single again.
Exactly.
Ah, ah. So it was me letting him know I didn't forget this. This is the result of me not being able to trust you.
Yeah.
Me not being able to come to you as your wife, your help me tell you, okay, I see danger in the camp, danger lurking around the camp, and you not listen to me or you not take heed to what I'm saying, and you just going out there and play with the danger.
Yeah, and so that paying for that for 8 to 9 years showed up in many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just talking about it all the time, but it showed
Mm-hmm.
up in many different ways where there was a shutdown here or a wall here or a lash there or whatever the case may have been. And so now the danger of that was it was trying to teach me, and I refused to learn this. It was trying to teach me to, if you do have a failure, don't share. If you do have a failure, hide it. If you do have a failure, don't say nothing about it at all. And that begins to create a wedge in
Mm-hmm.
between the two,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, she'll never know this or he'll never know that, which means that you will do things, and because you think that it is
Safe.
safer to keep it quiet, you think it's secretive, you are actually more apt to do things
Mm-hmm.
or fail or bend to your inclinations that will cause failures,
Mm-hmm.
because you think it's outside of you and outside of the marriage, you've kept it over here. I think that if you actually are brave enough to share your failure, even if it is met with lashes and the feeling of personal betrayal by your partner, it keeps you accountable.
Right.
It keeps you upfront. That's just my thought. That's just my thought. What do you think?
I think if you do share with your companion, um, you have to do it in a way uh, where number one, you can be comfortable and open. I mean, it's almost like putting out you got to do a precursor. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. It may not make you feel good. You may be disappointed. Set it up and say, this has no bearing on you. You didn't cause me to do this. Make the other person know it wasn't their fault, so to speak.
Right, that's good, but that can all sound like fluff.
It can all be
Because here's the
fluff, but you
reality:
better
if
set it
you
up.
decide, you're right, you better set it up. But if you, because it's about how you say it.
Hmm.
But you also have to be aware or be ready that
Yes,
if you share it, doesn't mean that they are ready to make
to hear it.
this a safe place to fail.
Exactly, exactly.
Because
That's a gamble.
my wife was not ready for that.
Nope.
And it could be 10 years down the line, and you say, dang, we've been married for 10 years. I should be able to share with you that I actually do make mistakes, and I actually did da da da. And just because you share it does not mean that they're still immediately going to
Just
be
wrap
able
their
to,
arms around you and say, "I understand. It's okay."
right,
Hmm.
that pregame talk only works in a lifetime. Because they already know when you start doing that pregame talk,
What's
yeah, you
just
don't,
put it out
yeah,
there. Say what you
yeah.
got to say. I understand that. However, you have to, in my opinion, it's like, okay, if you're gonna choose to make a mistake or choose to ignore the warning signs, then you got to be able to be prepared for the hurricane and the storm that's gonna come after that. Because
Right.
when it comes out to the light, it's
Because you,
coming full force.
right, because making a safe place to fail is to become mature within yourself. Because I don't care what the failure is, more than likely the other person is going to take it as a personal betrayal
Hmm.
against them.
Hmm.
And so to hear that you personally betrayed me, and then people say, well, why? Why would you do that? It's like when you're asking why, it's like you're saying, why didn't you use logic?
Right. Why didn't you listen to
First,
me?
this. Why did it's like, okay, that's kind of what constitutes a failure.
Yeah, but it's
Is
like,
that
why
I
did you
actually
choose to do
know,
that? That's what
and
we want to
yet
know.
I did not.
Why did you choose to make that decision? Why did you
Because it's
choose
definitely a
this
choice.
action? that caused me pain,
Right.
or that's now going to cause tension and strife and distrust, disloyalty, dishonor in our marriage and what, or our relationship, what we have.
Because this happened in such a way that there were things that Marquita would accuse me of for years that were
Mm-hmm.
happening that she thought was happening
I'm like,
concurrent.
oh, this is a pattern.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And none of that was happening at all. That failure was once, and thank God I'm not perfect, but thank God that failure was a one-time thing. But there were maybe about 8 other um, accusations that never happened. Not in the least, not even close to happening. But that
It was open. It opened up a
that
world of,
distrust
yeah.
was
And
there.
my mind just went to computing and, okay, if this, then no, you did this because this, so you tried to do that because of this. I
I'm
know.
like,
I'm. And he's like, what, girls? Like,
right.
women are investigated. I'm gonna find out.
And you find out that you have a great imagination. That's what
Cause
the
you
case was.
right. It's just, huh?
That's what the case was. That you found out you had a great imagination. That's not what
Child,
was
whatever.
happening.
Mm.
No, whatever. All right, so Chris says, what if your spouse's actions show that you haven't made a safe space or place, or have made the wrong decision by telling them in the first place?
I don't think it's the wrong decision. Um,
I think that decision is still up to the individual.
right.
It would be ideal for your relationship to be a safe place to fail because you are going to fail.
Hmm.
But it's really up to the individual to decide whether you respond or react the way you want to react. I am going to, be upfront or be honest, or whatever. I think it's an individual choice. I do
Hmm.
think that it is a weak marriage at large if there is that you don't have a safe place to fail.
Yeah.
Because if it's not a safe place to fail, you're lying to one another
Hmm.
that you don't fail
Right.
or that I don't fail. And
Hmm.
because if we've never failed, then there are secrets and lies that are at the foundation of this marriage.
Hmm. And fail doesn't have to be infidelity.
Hmm.
I mean, it could be something. I mean, not simple, but it could be gambling. It could be. It could be. I'm trying to think of something else.
Would you say
It could be
it
gambling.
could be
Anything.
alcoholism?
Yeah, it could be abuse. Um, I mean, it could be a number of things.
Yeah.
But if
It
it's
could be,
something that,
I don't work like I'm supposed to. I don't go to work like I'm supposed to.
right.
It could be in-law issues, but that's a whole nother story.
Hmm.
Um,
It could be, yeah. So
so what are some
it
other
can be other.
failures?
Yeah, it could be other things that happen. It doesn't have to be infidelity or distrust or disloyalty, so to speak.
All right, so Joe says, things happen, but you have to forgive. That's the only way you can move on and have a happy marriage.
That is true. Um,
But forgiving requires personal
Growth.
processing,
Hmm.
personal emotional processing.
Hmm.
Because it's like before you can forgive, that person has to emotionally process what is happening to them
On it, yeah. Hmm.
before they can give you a sense of forgiveness.
Hmm.
Um, so
That's true.
yeah,
That's
and
true.
and I think to make your relationship a safe place to fail is when you become a person who is comfortable in your own skin and has learned the art
Hmm.
of forgiveness
Hmm. Right.
and the art of understanding
Yes, and that takes time.
misuse of finance. Hmm.
Yes, that's a good one. That takes time because me showing him that this wasn't a safe space for him to fail because the way I responded. I'm 9 times out of 10, if there's any hint of adultery, fornication, or any type of um just betrayal, then that's how, male or female, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a response that you weren't looking for and that you don't like, simply put. And so you have to be ready for that because this is not in a perfect world. My response would have been, okay, give me a minute, let me get myself together and we can talk about this. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? This is how that action made me feel. In a perfect world, we would have had that together. We would have talked about it. I would have decided whether or not to forgive him and either forgive him and continue to stay, or say this is something that I can't forgive and move forward.
And sometimes, as Joe said, real love is made through forgiveness. Look at God and us, absolutely.
That is the
So, but
epitome of,
sometimes
yes,
our forgiveness
comes with a
um,
price.
looks like yeah, I lost my thought. But yeah, forgiveness does come with a price. And what we say is forgiveness. Oh yeah, so what we say is forgiveness is sometimes not forgiveness, but it's revenge.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna keep you around,
Yeah, I'm
which
gonna remind you
you
every
think
time.
I've forgiven you because I didn't leave you,
Right.
but I want to get you back. Now I may
Hmm.
not get you back by
Doing what you
engaging in the
did.
same failure,
Right.
but I'm gonna get you back by
Making you hurt.
making you pay for it for
Hmm.
8 or 9 years, or I'm gonna get you
Hmm.
back by
You're gonna learn
yeah,
not to
whatever
make me
those
feel
get
this
you
way.
back is,
Hmm.
and we say that's forgiveness. That's not forgiveness at all, which means because in all actuality, if you stop whatever the get back is,
Hmm.
and that pain is still there, you haven't forgiven.
Right.
I think forgiveness, real forgiveness, is looks like when you can rehearse a situation and still not feel the same sting
Hmm.
of it that you felt when it happened.
That's true, and that's why I say it takes time, and not time away from it, so to speak. You do need time away from whatever that was that caused you the pain. And when I say time away, meaning not focused on that, so that you can gather your strength and get back in the game. But there are times where that stuff is gonna happen, or you like the person. We continue to see the person throughout years, and it's like for me, I'm just like I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. But I mean, I couldn't just kill the people off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
Um,
and you're right. And to be honest, like Joe said, real love is no, no, no. He said them 8 years was way too long. He had already learned his lesson, which is true. It's true,
you
but
can't tell me
I
how long
couldn't
to
tell.
grieve.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Although all this was
Yeah,
in there,
you
but
can't tell me how long to grieve,
it was
JoJo.
you grieving.
Right,
But you grieving doesn't mean that I have to pay
pay
for it.
for it, but that's
But
how long to
I
keep it.
can't I can't determine that. But
Right.
that's true.
And then also we didn't have this. We didn't have a counselor to help aid us through this time, help us to give us the tools that we needed to help us so that we can put them to use and say like today's not a good day. I'm in my feelings. I'm remembering such and so. So I just need give me a couple hours of retail therapy or something. Let me go get on what is Assassin's Creed. Let me go
Right.
get this out at the boxing ring. Let me go exercise.
Right.
Or let me tell you how I'm feeling right now.
And
Because
if
it
you're not,
takes time.
it takes time. And if you're not careful, here's what I had to deal with. I had to deal with now, which is wrong, but I had to deal with rationalizing why I would be getting this type of feedback, this type of punishment for this long. Because my
Hmm.
thing was, and this but you gotta be careful. When your relationship is not a safe place to fail, these are the thoughts that come to your mind.
Hmm.
Well, I should have went on ahead and actually did something if I gotta go through all this.
Hmm.
Like
Some
I
people feel that
yeah,
way.
it's like I might as well, went on ahead and block block.
And some people will say that out of their mouths too.
Right. If
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to deal with this, or if I'm dealing with this and dealing with that, and then you start to judge other people. Well, such and so did this, and they didn't have to go through that, and they're not dealing with that with their
Hmm.
wife, and I only did this. So now you start trying to measure
Hmm. In
failure. Failure is a
comparison.
failure.
Hmm.
You can't measure it one
It's
failure to another failure. Failure is failure, like sin is sin.
right. Period. Um, it's something that you said.
I say yeah.
Hmm.
All right, how did Jared aid you in getting rid of the 8 year long torture? I'm so glad y'all.
How did he aid me?
I don't know if I did.
Honestly, it took a while. He had to listen. Honestly, that was my thing. When my husband was getting ordained to be a pastor, there was this one pastor that spoke into his life and told him, "Listen to your wife. Your wife is likened to the Holy Spirit. You got God the Father, you got Jesus over here, who is like to the husband, and then you got the wife over here, who is like unto the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is sent to comfort and to guide. So he was kept telling him, listen to your wife. And that stuck with me when I heard him say that. I didn't use that as a tool, like, yeah, he gonna have to listen to me. I took that as in times when I have a strong discernment about something, share that with him. But I wanted him to know that I'm not using this as a tool. If I'm saying, okay, it's I wasn't going at him saying, I don't like this me, and I won't say this, and I won't say that. I didn't go to him to do that type of stuff until I got bad. But before I was trying to say, I went to him saying, hey, you need to be careful about this. And I literally was telling him, don't let your good be evil spoken of. You got so much greatness. You see that?
But you answered the question.
What question?
So how did that help?
I'm trying to get to that. So me going at Jared was going at him, not saying, this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. I would go to him and tell him, I just need you to take heed to what I'm saying. Don't think I'm trying to control you. Don't think I'm trying to just tell you what to do, because that's what I want you to do. I want you to operate how I want you to operate. I had to pretty much pour myself out to him and be vulnerable and tell him, this is what I need from you. This will help me. If you listen to me, or at least consider what I'm saying, that will help me to understand that you are not in cahoots with anyone else. Because I used to tell him all the time, don't let no other female have one up on me. Nobody. I don't care who it is. And if I feel like y'all have something that I'm not aware of, or that I don't know about, or that's shady, I'm gonna feel betrayed. I'm gonna feel like I can't trust you, and I'm going. This is the behavior you're gonna get. I'm going to be nasty. I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna make you pay, so to speak. And it's not intentional, but that's just, I know my Marquita, and I know how I'm gonna behave or how I'm gonna respond. So what I need from you to help me is to just listen. I know females, like I think we all say that. A female, we know the characteristics of a thought, we know the characteristics of a real woman. So if I'm telling you something, please, please take heed to what I'm saying. You may not see it, just like guys, they know men. And we may not see it, just like we laughing and joking and we touch and you say, wait a minute now, you laughing a little too hard at the dude, because you can tell what's going on in the mind of another dude. So I'm to help me, just listen to me. If I say you need to be careful, be careful.
So is that what helped you?
And that's what helped me.
And that help get you to that place of forgiveness?
That's what helped me get to that place of forgiveness, because now
So
I felt like
listening to you.
yeah, it took a while. It took a while. It took a while to get there, which is why the 8, 9 years was so long, because it took a while.
No.
Yes.
Don't keep now you're putting it on me again.
I'm not putting it on you. It took a while. You're your own person, and I'm my own person. But I'm trying to not coach you, but share with you. This is what I need
you
to get over that, because I kept feeling threatened, because I'm like, my husband won't listen to me. My husband won't
So how did that
take
make you
heed.
feel that I was actually listening?
Because you started to see stuff for yourself and started to take notice. And I'm like, this is not just by happenstance that this is happening, or that is happening, or this was done, or that was said. This is, plotted. This type of behavior is being done on purpose to pull your attention, to get you. And if you don't stop it, not me, I'm not going after no female. Hey, you need to la la la. If you don't stop it, it's going to continue. Or if you don't ignore it, block it out, it's going to continue. Because now that, this chick knows out, oh, I had him, what chick is not going to try to continue to get your attention? So that's in where the battle was.
Okay. All right. So let me read what Joe wrote. He says, you can't put your heart above the marriage and
Hurt.
Oh, your hurt. I'm sorry. Your hurt above the marriage, which is good. Ain't no I in the word us. Understand the hurt, but you have to choose the better good. All right. And Curtis says, then it will cause the guilty party to not want to disclose future actions or mistakes, worrying if your partner is going to blow up or hold it over your head. Very, very true.
That's true.
Chris Jackson says, could it be that he always listened, or could it be that you couldn't see it in his actions? Could it be that he always listened to you?
No, it couldn't be that he always listened to me. Um, just because, like I said, my husband, his own person, has his own mind. He's not gonna be feel like he's being controlled. He's not gonna feel like
Well,
I
like I
can't think
said,
for
so
myself.
let me. So
So
yes, you're right. But however, it wasn't that I didn't listen to you, because I can listen to you and still choose something different.
right,
I think actually the fact that for me that I did listen to you, I didn't heed, but
right.
I did listen, which
That's
is
what I
why,
mean when I say
yeah.
listen. You didn't heed to my warnings or discernment, and you didn't understand it. So
No, I did understand it. Like you said, it probably wasn't, I didn't accept it,
and
or I
accept it.
didn't want it to
Hmm.
be whatever you were saying.
Right.
The heeding is up to me.
Hmm.
Listening is up to me as well. I
Hmm.
think I did listen to you, which is why, I guess hindsight, I was even more apt to say something, because it's like, hey, it's like we talked about this, and
And this is
this
happening.
is what happened. So
Hmm.
it was that I actually did listen to you, but I didn't heed, because I wanted to play with fire,
Fire. Hmm.
because I'm like, the fire is not gonna burn me, and it burned me from a mental.
Hmm.
Thankfully, it didn't burn me physically.
Right.
So yeah, okay. Uh, so this is good. So now, here's the reality. We as men rarely heed to what our wives say when we should, and vice versa. Women rarely heed to what their husbands say.
Not a lot of strong head women don't
Don't what?
heed to what their husbands say.
Yeah. And the not heeding is because there is there's a personal thing there,
Hmm.
and there may be a personal pull there,
Hmm.
and it's like, I hear you, but I'm going to see if I can fight this out myself.
Right, because it's like I trust me. I got
Exactly.
this. I control me. I got this, and it's like right, you can control you and you trust you, but you don't know what's in their minds or what
Yeah.
the other person has
Right.
concocting
And you can trust you and control you, but what at what risk?
at what risk.
How close
Right.
are you towing the line? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah. Listen. So that means, it's not easy to make your relationship a safe place to fail. I would venture to say this, Marquita. Most relationships are not
No,
a
it's
safe place to
true.
fail.
It's true. I mean, it's any type of relationship. Because I mean, whenever there are two people involved, it's gonna be conflict, some kind of way, because we all have our own minds, we have our own beliefs,
Mhm.
and we're grown. We want to make whatever choice we want to make without having to consider the consequences, so to speak.
And I believe that Marquita forgave me well before she was able to personally heal.
I think I did too. I was just whenever I was reminded or whenever it was in my face,
You hadn't taught yourself a different reaction.
correct.
Then
And
when it came
so
back up,
this is what I
this is
do.
how I reacted.
Right. This is what I do. I feel to put up my wall or I put on my boxing gloves.
Right,
Hmm.
right. Okay, hold on. That man did 8 years hard times.
Who
Remember
said
the man?
that?
Joe said it. You didn't say the man. You go ahead and keep the stories coming. Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
T. Harris, what is the topic tonight? Just
Ooh,
wondering.
try.
Who is this coming in 9 hours late? You want us to stop what we're doing to go back? Now, the
Stop.
topic is your
Is your
relationship
relationship
a
a safe
safe place to
space
fail?
to fail?
Mm. So, and that's the truth. You're going to fail. Get ready for that. If you don't want to feel personally betrayed,
Mhm.
you don't need to be married.
True, because it's just going to happen. It's a natural, innate feeling on the inside of us. That's going to happen. How could you do this to me?
Right, absolutely.
Hmm.
And you just have to get to a point to where, for one, don't be in denial
Hmm.
about what has happened. Because if, in my opinion, if a person is coming to you and say, "Hey, I failed," and they tell you what they did, one, maybe you don't need to know all the details. Maybe you do. I don't know. But if they're telling you that, it's really them saying, "Hey, here's my weakness. I'm showing it to you."
Hmm.
And I need some help.
in this
Um,
area.
and maybe you can give me that help, and maybe you can't. But I am showing you that there is a weak spot in this area. That's to me, that's somebody that's brave. To me, that's somebody that's integral. To me, that's somebody who says that they respect and they honor the relationship enough to be completely vulnerable. And look, this this is a huge flaw, and I don't, and then thankfully for me, mine was different. I'm not judging anybody, but it's just because that person may share that flaw or that failure doesn't mean that they have gotten over it and it's gone and it's
Right,
done.
right, and it doesn't mean that they're weak either, because some people
It
could
doesn't
think
mean that
that
they're weak.
they're weak
That's good.
because they've shared this. Now, to add to what you're saying,
Hmm.
what will help that person continue to be integral and honor it is if they seek help. Don't just put it out there, because a lot of people say that's what I do. I flirt, or that's what I do. I don't know how to, I'm not good with money, so I blow it. And the next word shouldn't be and. The next word should be, oh, okay, let's see how we can curtail this so that we can cultivate what we have and continue to be a strong force.
Right. Look at what Glenn said. Glenn said, as men, when we are asking for help, please help us. Don't kick us while we're down.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. We need to know that you're asking for help. But that's that. Don't just,
You
like
have
I
to
just
know
said.
your
Don't.
spouse,
Yeah.
because that woman or that man may not clearly say I need help. That you have to know what they're saying when they don't say it.
Hold on. Water and ice.
Who that is?
I wonder what's in the cup.
Yeah, yep. And you
Ice
too.
water.
And again, once again, you have to know what they're not saying
Yeah.
or what they're trying to say. May not have the words to say.
That's why you have to
And that don't
learn
mean
your
even
companion.
if you need some help. You can't. You got to go and get some help. That don't necessarily um, automatically means that you got to start, because again, that's kicking them out of down. You need some help. You crazy. You
Hmm.
sick. You dummy.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
ain't
that's.
that ain't
I
gonna work.
mean, dig it in the wound. They've already hurt, and then you just jigging a knife in there and digging it. That's not helpful. Which is why
Got to help Quan.
we. Excuse me.
Quan says yes. We need to know that you're actually asking for help and not just making excuses. So how
Yes.
do you discern that?
How do you discern that? It's. I mean, honestly, it take a while. You got to learn, know your companion. You have to learn your companion. Some companions are going to be blunt, direct, and specific. Some you're going to have to pull it out of because they honestly just don't know how to process or know how to convey what they're feeling, which is why we are advocates for couples
Yes,
counseling and
couples counseling.
therapy, because it's just some stuff we don't know everything. Even if we think we do not know everything. And even if we know, we don't always use it. We don't always utilize the tools. We don't always activate those things. So therapy helps because it's someone on the outside looking in at both parties, both viewpoints, and they can give you a nice, straight, clear path.
Right.
So that
Right.
who said that? Leave them alone, bye.
Because Joe said,
Ah!
read what Joe said. Read, read it.
Let's be clear. Say it out loud for the ladies in the back. Them 8 years hard time. What? Them 8 years hard time was wrong, especially if his behavior had changed. But that was my thing. It took a while. The behavior didn't change just automatically. It took a while for the behavior to change because he is his own person. I'm my own person. It took a while for me, 8 years for me to not keep blowing up on him about it.
So pause. That was a failure.
Right. Because I kept wounding him. I kept jigging and messing with his weakness.
So my failure or my weakness met her weakness.
Hmm. My weakness is don't let me feel threatened. If I feel threatened,
That's not a
I'm going to
weakness.
be vengeful.
That's the weakness. My weakness is I'm protect. No, that ain't the weakness. The weakness was vengeful. The weakness is not able to uh, forgive.
Yes, not being able to truly forgive, even if I said it, because every time it's in my face, it's stung, and I'm like, I remember when you didn't listen to me.
All right, it's about that time. Okay. So for one, we do advocate for counseling. That's one of the things that helped us. But you have to be ready. You have to be ready for counseling because that was a blow up for us.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, and it needs to be
Mutually.
consensual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't throw counseling to somebody that's not ready. We counsel people all the time. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of the things we do with How to Make Love Work.
Mm-hmm.
We offer couples counseling. We've been doing this
Mm-hmm.
for years, counseling couples.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need couples counseling, just hit us up, and we'll get you on the schedule. It works. It helps. It
Yes,
is
indeed.
healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be ready for that, right?
Right. Don't use it as a tool to get back. Because some people come to counseling with the notion, I'm gonna tell them everything he did. I'm gonna tell them
Mm-hmm.
everything she did, how she is, what she says to me, because I need them to know what I'm going through. And I need them to let him know. He need to know that he wrong. Or she need to know that she wrong. And you if you coming for that, at least if you coming to us, that's just you're gonna be in for a rude
Yeah, it's not
awakening.
gonna happen.
Because
Because
that's not
I'm
gonna
gonna
happen.
tell you now that
We're gonna talk about you.
yeah, we're gonna talk about you. Everybody's gonna get their turn, and we're gonna when you tell me what he says,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk about you.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell me she, we're gonna talk about you.
Yeah, and now we will address it, but we're not for the bash.
All right, last question. Should married couples receive counseling from people you personally know? That's not an issue.
It depends on
It
the
depends
person.
on the maturity of the people who are counseling.
Yes, I was
If
gonna
they
say
are
that.
not professional and are not mature, then no.
Right. And if you, I mean, just think about them. You know, the people you if you know these people, are they biased? You can tell if they're biased through the conversations and the interactions that you've had. Are they, one-sided? Are they negative? You're gonna have to really do some digging because this is your life,
Hmm. And the
and you can't.
hardest thing you will ever have to do in life, this is for the single people, not the divorcees, because you already know, single people who've never been married. The hardest thing you will ever do in life is be married.
It is true.
Stay married. Make your marriage work. That would be
Hmm.
the hardest thing. Not becoming a doctor, not buying a home, not raising children, not losing a loved one. The hardest thing you will ever have to do in life is not have a wedding, but be married.
Right, because you are constantly working at keeping your marriage afloat. I
Yes.
mean, and when you get to that point, when you get to that point where think you're starting to coast, I mean, ride the wave. Things will still come up and arise, but at least you grab the tools that you need. You got everything you need to, and you guys are at a point to where you can address issues and just coast.
What did he say?
Whew.
T Harris.
But I'm
I,
sitting on the couch
I'll sit on the couch on
on
the
the counseling
counseling
session
session
and
and
take the
take notes.
minutes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
He's supposed to sit there and take
I'm not
notes.
gonna take notes. Being married is hard, absolutely. All right, so listen, what's up?
Women don't play about holding on to hurt. It's best to let it go and move on.
All right, we got like 2 minutes. I don't want to go over our time. Y'all got any questions to throw at us? Again, the conversation, and I really hope that you guys go back and have the conversation with your whoever you're with, your
Your
partner,
companion.
because again, this subject is not a simple one. Is your relationship a safe place to fail? So,
I wanted to comment when you said it's going to be one of the hardest things or the hardest thing in your life, and that it's hard. My motto in life is things will only be as hard as you make it. And I say that because life is hard. Situations arise. It can be hard to cope with or hard to overcome. However, you have to make it up in your mind that you want better, or you want to grow, or you want positivity. You want good. You want the good life. You have to really make that up in your mind, and also really make up and choose positivity and choose to do something about it. It's going to be hard work, but you got to take one step forward and choose to say this is the goal that I'm working towards. And if you fight against all of that, it's going to be much harder. So that's why I look at life is it's only as hard as I make it. Because it's already hard. I don't need to make it any more worse
Right.
or any more tougher.
Right. Y'all do us a favor and share this. If you think that this was good enough to share or would help to benefit anybody that you care for that is in a relationship, or you need your spouse to hear it, share it. Tag their name.
Yeah.
Tag
I
their
like
name.
what Tamika said. We hurt, but we also stand in the pain. That's true. When you can pray for your companion, even though you want to wring their necks, when you can actually say, you know what, this I'm pissed with my companion or my spouse. However, no, not however, and I'm still going to protect them. I'm still going to cover them. I'm still going to make sure they good. That is some hard work. That takes scrimp. So this time, people just want to cut them off and be like, I'm done with you, or fend for yourself. Find your own dinner. Buy your own tampons. You know? Oh, goodness. Oh, my God.
All right. So, in last words,
Ah, work hard every day at making your marriage a happy one, a good one, a safe one. So y'all can just coast and ride the wave of love.
yes.
Join the
Thank y'all for
caravan
joining us.
of
Of course,
love.
we do this every single, not every single, because we had a break last week. But every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. You can catch us here. This will make sure that this is on YouTube as well, and there's some other stuff on YouTube. So go follow us on YouTube.
How to make love work.
All right. All right. So we signing off. Kisses. Signing off. Mwah.
Chantel, girl, you love him, girl.
She say part two.
Ah, you ain't the guy.
Part two of this.
Oh, okay. We can do a
You
part
said part two
two.
of this. What will part two be?
Mm. What is something? Oh no, that was something else. I'm like, it's something that you said, but that was something else.
It is easy to part.
Mhm.
It's hard to stay.
Mhm.
But the benefits of staying is great.
That is so true, Curtis. I'm trying to grow old.
The benefits of staying is great
My baby was all black when
if
we
you
got together.
guys
Look at
grow.
all that. Look at all this. He was all black. Now he got some salt and pepper.
You
I'm
want to do that
trying
for
to grow
YouTube?
old. I ain't got nothing going gray. What are you talking about?
You was all.
Ah, I got gray.
You was all.
I was all wet. I'm getting too thick, y'all. I mean, I've always been thick, but I'm getting too thick. I gotta,
Girl, please.
I gotta slow down on the carbs.
All right. Bye, y'all. Good night.